start. Well, start with a shot there. I was muting myself audio.
I don't want it.
What was that? I'm starting the other way and coming this way. Down the other end coming this way. You want a shot of the whole area too, Darlene?
Pardon me?
You want a shot of the whole area too? Okay.
Point at a couple of them up here, too. Point at some of these up here. You can even see me bend over.
Yeah, I think you cooperate today. Robert, is that what's his name? Stevens. Okay, now what, we just
Chair there.
we just like we're just gonna
We might just go focus on you for a while, and then while you're talking, we'll go.
Do I have to go through? I don't have to go through everything, don't I? Just more or less, just so we're in there a little bit.
Yeah.
Mama's gonna have to be in there with you.
All right, this is Elizabeth Thompson, and I'm the MCH nurse out of the Colville Consolidated Tribe. This is, we're trying to give you...
You have to start. You have to look at us when you're talking.
Oh.
Okay.
And it's
Look right in
confederated,
here.
not consolidated.
see.
Confederated tribes.
Good morning, this is Elizabeth Thompson, and I'm the MCH nurse for the Colville Confederated Tribe. This morning we're going to try and give you an idea of what we do in a well baby clinic. To the left of me, right of me is Leona Cohen, who is trying to have the baby lay down so she can weigh and measure the child. Each child comes into the clinic, and they are weighed and measured. And then I, in turn, counsel the mother. Then the child is seen by the doctor. And then the school nurse here gives the immunizations, if any are needed. This is being conducted at the Paskel Sherman School. For any one of you children who would like to know how to get into a program such as this, for myself, you have to become an RN and have some training in maternal health care. Leona, she is called a CHR representative, and which is community health. There are many other girls in this program. She goes about from house to house seeing the needs of the people that can't be seen all the time. And they attend workshops to gain some knowledge in some type of medicine. See, and this is Carol. Pardon me? Carol Batt. She is a school nurse here at Paskel Sherman, and this is Mr. Surge. He is ailing. Maybe perhaps, Carol, you'd like to state what you do in your role as a school nurse.
I'm one of the RNs here at Paskel Sherman Indian School. There are two of us. We're responsible for taking care of the children, testing them in their heights and weights, seeing to their needs when they become ill, and taking them to the physician if they need it. The other nurse and I both graduated from high school and then I went on to a 4-year college program, and the other nurse went to a 2-year program to become an RN. And we eventually, after working in a hospital for a while, decided to come here to Paskel Sherman to work.
In order to be in a program such as Carol is, or myself, you have to be able to, like children, get along with people, and also have some knowledge after you get out of training in pediatrics, so that you will be able to find anything that is wrong with the child before you see the doctor. Also in this MCH program, we do a lot of visiting, so that means you have to be able to accept people for what they are, and be able to talk with them and keep them at ease, because sometimes they are very frightened and threatened by someone coming in to their homes. All of the other people we deal with are Indians, and a lot of the most of the personnel are also of the Indian tribe. You want Leona to say something?
Neil Hutchins, and I'm the superintendent of the Paskel Sherman Indian School. You had this running?
Yeah, wait a minute, Bill. We needed that, Bill, too. I think you guys can start over this way, or you can start on him?
Yeah, let's start over here.
Yeah. Do you have an estimate of how long this is going to be?
It's up to you folks. She said just keep it real short. So.
Yeah, well, like what we were saying, real meaty,
Yeah.
detail, just whatever it takes you to do it. Should you be on camera when you introduce yourself? Why don't you just start your pen and then okay. It's going to look good going that way and then back.
Hear you?
If you don't want to talk, you know, you have to let you hear over here. You don't feel like you got it on camera.
My name is Neil Hutchins, and I'm the superintendent of the Paskel Sherman Indian School. What you're seeing here is the Paskel Sherman Indian School, which is now operated by the Colville tribe on the Colville Indian Reservation in north central Washington State. This school was formerly known as St. Mary's Mission, and it was run by by the Jesuit fathers of the Roman Catholic Church, and it's now been turned over to the Colville Indians to operate. Good enough. Want to keep going? Okay. What you're looking at now is a very modern school. It's been built within the last 3 years. It's complete with playground equipment and staffed by a very competent bunch of teachers and counselors and teachers' aides. And this entire complex requires a lot of people of different trades and occupations to operate, other than just teachers. We have maintenance people, and we have stenographers and cooks, and we have dormitory workers also who help run this school. And we'll be giving you a little look at some of the types of people that work here. You give me the cue when you want me to start. I don't know exactly where you're going to pick them up. Here we have our principal at Paskel Sherman Indian School, Mr. Aaron Lewis, who grew up on this reservation and went to school here when it was known as St. Mary's Mission School. Aaron left the reservation for South Dakota, where he got his master's degree in education, and returned to become the principal of the school that he once attended.
I think what we'd like to probably talk about would be for young people interested in education to probably stay attuned to what's happening in the classrooms, become familiar with what the intent of the teachers are, follow them very closely from one day to the next, and try to pick up some teaching techniques and some course of studies, and to become in the areas of education, as far as my position as school administrator, be totally familiar with all of the areas of education, and that you get a wide scope of academic fields of study and choices, and stay in school. And even though school might be at times very difficult, just stay in there. That's the most important thing. And thank you.
Good. That really worked out good.
Yeah. Time is good on that. Let's hope we got it.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's roll for a little bit.
We're going to have to insert the scaling, too. I hope we took this one.
You're okay.
Okay, tell him that.
Remember that we did scaling, so somewhere
With that
in
video
your,
of scaling.
that's going to have to go in here. So if you can kind of refer to it and pretend we're looking at someone's scaling.
Okay.
Okay, you guys go ahead and start what you're doing there.
Larry Boyd, who is the supervisor of the pre-sale cruising for timber sales on Colville Reservation, is working with Truman Picard on a plot in which they determine the quality of the tree as well as the species and the volume. From these measurements, they go back to the office and send the information to computers in Washington, in Portland, Oregon. The computer printout then tells Larry the volume on the stand and the value of the lumber coming off of this particular timber sale. When Larry's work is finished, he puts the timber sale up for sale. It's cut and scaled in the log yards, as you saw earlier with Kenny Red Thunder and others. This is an extremely important step in forest management in that these people are the ones who actually determine the value of the timber being removed. How's that? A very different step in our process of forest management is the estimates of volume, quality, age classes of all the timber on the reservation. As such, we have a crew that puts in permanent plots to measure the growth on trees. And each 7 or 8 years we come back and measure these sites. They also do work such as timber type studies. In other words, the age of the stands, the type of tree that's growing or the species that's growing. All these particular jobs take well-trained individuals, either highly trained technicians or foresters with college degrees. The intent of the BIA and of this agency now is to train as many members of the Colville tribe as possible to take over these jobs and to actually manage the forest themselves for the rest of the tribe. Each of these jobs, as you can see, takes care in making measurements. And the reason for this is that a very small sample is taken and then extended over many thousands of acres so that a 1/10 of 1% error could actually mean a large error in the forest as a whole. For this reason, the branch of forestry selects only the best technicians and foresters we can find. The work at times is slow and tedious, such as this is, where you may stand in one spot for a long period of time taking many minute measurements, and other times can be difficult and actually hard work. Climbing a mountain on a hot day is not exactly easy. But in the long run, you see the benefits of your work in one of the best, well-managed forests in this part of the country.
How much longer are we going to be?
Start. Well, start with a shot there. I was muting myself audio here.
I don't want it.